Hello. Welcome to all you who have joined us for this Seneca training. Now that your all schools are MIS synced, hopefully this will prove useful and give you some tips and things for you to use. My colleague Amelia is also with us today, and she'll be taking any comments, answering any questions. So do post your comments and questions using the comments button or on the YouTube directly in there, and we will hopefully be able to answer those for you.
Hi everyone. Yeah, please add any questions that come up as we go through into the comment section. I'll be keeping an eye so that we can everything.
Super. Right, well, we'll get started and have a look, and then as people join, they can always watch the beginning bit afterwards. So here, this will be what you can now see when you're logged in. You will see synced next to your classes so that you can see that those are there. Under the classes tab, you've got your classes. Any classes that were previously created will be here under archived. If you've got more classes than you needed because your timetable has assigned you to lots of them, you can just click those and press archive, and it will automatically do that when you press the archive button just here. And then that will put them in those archived classes, and you can always undo it straight away by unarchiving. So you can always just check your classes. If you're looking for school classes, because you're a head of department or a senior leader, you can go into now this schools tab right at the top here, and it will show you all of your school classes in the whole school. And should you wish to join any of those, it's really nice and easy. You simply tick all the classes you want to join and simply press join classes. You will then automatically have those classes added to your My Classes list once you go there. So here we've added those classes, have been added to the My Classes list. Also, under the Schools tab, you can see all of the students who are logged in. So when students go, oh, I haven't got an account, you can come in here and check. All of the students will be here, and it'll show you when they were last active, when they were last logged in. And the same with the teachers. All teachers who have accounts on your school system will be listed here. And if you suddenly needed to reset any passwords, you can just tick those, press reset password, and choose a password to reset those too. So we can reset those passwords. That's quite useful if you need to bulk reset a whole lot of students. You can simply do it all in one go. So you can reset all of the passwords in one go now. So this is what it looks like from a staff point of view. And then if we go in as a student, students, when they log into their class, now that you are synced, will automatically see under their classes and assignments, will automatically see all of their school classes that they are joined to. And this means that when they click in any class, like this one here, they will automatically see any upcoming assignments. So if for any reason you've forgotten to post the homework on your My Class charts or the Go or whatever other linked program you're using, students can always find their homework here. So you don't necessarily always need to post the link to Google Classroom or to Teams. You can just go, your homework's on Seneca, and they can just literally go in and find their assignment there. And they will also see any assignments that are overdue and past assignments. And if they were to click on a course where there wasn't one, it would just say that there wasn't any upcoming courses for them there. I'm going to pause a moment in case there are any questions. All good so far.
All good for questions at the moment, I think, Ruth.
Okay, so if we are coming into your class, so your class will automatically be populated with the relevant students, and relevant teachers will be added in here so that you don't need to do anything. You can simply look to see those are there. The only thing you might do is you might decide to invite parents from your classes, and you can tick and simply invite parents down here. What you do need to make sure is you add courses relevant to each class. So you just search for the class, the course you need in here, and then you can add whatever courses into here. As soon as you've got courses added, then the important bit, setting assignments. So if we're looking at assignments, so if we can go into here, we can set an assignment. There are two sorts of assignments here. This exam question only one is a premium service, so you won't be able to use that just yet. You can use this one here. And if we go in, we choose the course that we're going to be looking at. We choose one of our things, and this down here tells you how long your assignment is going to be. So possibly slightly too long if we're setting a homework. Otherwise, they might all decide that that isn't. So we just reduce, and any content is previewable, so you can see exactly what students are going to see before you set it to check that it's relevant or what you want them to do. Once you've done that, we simply assign this one. And when this comes up with which some exam questions that are linked, and we can select these exam questions here, or we can choose here to swap questions around to find some different questions. All of these questions again, we can preview. We can also see exactly what the mark scheme is there. So if we select these here, we then have to give this assignment a name. Choose when we want it to be due in. We choose that we want it in by Friday at 4 o'clock. We then create our assignment here. If we were then to copy this link, you would see that as a student, they would come into there, they would come straight to their assignment, and they would work through the bits that you've set. And those exam questions on the bottom are there, and they simply would type an answer, and they can type in a full sentence at these. The nice thing is that students straight away will get their feedback as to whether they were right or wrong, and it will be marked here. If we look on our teacher platform in our class, we will be able to see that assignment that we've just looked at and that answer that has just been typed and exactly what students have typed. This means that you can check any misconceptions or errors and make a list of things that you might want to look at next time in lessons. It is also possible to set assignments to more than one class. This is particularly good if you need to set something across a whole year group, perhaps on a day when staff are absent, or there is need to be cover, or you need to set a homework assignment across a whole year group. You can choose to do that, and you have to make sure that the course that you are choosing is the same and that both classes have it allocated. So we can choose this one here. So here we call this one Key Stage 3 Science. And it's a year group homework. And here we can add the other class as well. So we've set it to multiple classes. Provided all classes have that Key Stage 3 Science course assigned, we will then be able to set it. We can choose for when we want that assignment to be in by, and we then create that assignment. And that assignment will be seen by both these classes. And we can copy and paste links to the Google Classroom or Teams or email them, or put them across in any other platform. But as we saw, students will automatically see those when they log in to their Seneca platform. So now, once we've done assignments, you want to see how well your students have done. So these were assignments that have already been completed. If we go back into an assignment here, we can see exactly what students have done and what percentage they did with each of the topics that you set. If you then thought, well, hang on, there's rather a lot of this that they haven't done, we can then reassign, or we can reassign it to the sections that they didn't complete. And we can say, and we're going to reassign, and we're saying we would like that in. And that will reassign just those content to those students so that they can make sure that they actually do all of the topics you wanted them to look at. And so therefore, when we look in our upcoming assignments, we've now got that year group homework we just set, the one with the exam questions, and we've got that reassignment one. If we want to look at exactly how students have done in topics that they've done for an assignment, you can do that. And also, as we saw before, you can look exactly at what students have written for their answer, and then pick up on the misconceptions and see overall how well they have done. All of these are exportable via Excel, so you can save these if you need to save results on a separate platform that your school uses. I'm going to pause if there are any questions about assignments.
All clear, Ruth. I think we're good for the moment.
Lovely, that's all right then. And so we've now looked at our students, we've looked at our class, and now you might want to look at the data. What's happening with these classes as we do them? So here in our Insights tab for each class, we can choose the course we want to look at, and we can see exactly how those students have done. So if I look at the geography course, we can see how long they've been learning, and we can set that to 24 hours. We can set it for the last 7 days, or we can set it for 30 days, or you can choose your own particular date range. You will see what their average score was and how long they've spent doing it. So perhaps if they haven't spent long doing it and they did it at speed, you might want to think about asking them to go a little slower and more carefully. Again, all data is exportable up here via the Excel sheet. But this is quite useful for having a brief oversight, both of the overview, and you can also look at topic scores for a particular what you've created. You can choose the sections that you want to look at and say what sections have we looked at and what have the students done. So in this we looked at the overview, and here I've chosen that tectonic part, and I can see exactly at a glance in those topics what they have completed and how well they did. So this is quite good as a point of reference, either as a head department or just for your class, to see how they're doing over some time if you've set them an assignment which is kind of running over several sessions or several weeks. So Insights is useful that you can have data on your classes. So we've looked at our classes, we've set assignments, we've reassigned them, we've looked to see how the marking and things will work. And there is another way that you might want to run reports. So you might go to a reporting function here at the top. You will choose your class. You will choose how long you want to run your report for. Quite good if you want to look at them over a half term to see exactly how students have done. And then we just generate a report. And that will work for a little minute, and then it'll produce you a bit while it's crunching the numbers. And while it's doing that, it will then produce something that will look a bit like this. Now, this is one which is a whole school report, which is actually a premium feature, but it'll follow the same format. Should you have a class report, you would see for that class the assignments that have been set, how much completion, numbers, and the total learning time that those students have had. You can then look specifically by target groups. So if you've got that set on there, you might want to look specifically at the SEN children and see how they're doing across all their subjects, how much time they're spending on that and what their average score is. Or you might be wanting to look at your pupil premium children, as you might be targeting those and thinking about what interventions that they might need. It also gives you information at a student level, and this is on a large spreadsheet, so you can search by exactly how students have done. It shows you the assignments they completed, and this is particularly useful, the independent study, because this shows you students who haven't just done assigned tasks, but have spent time looking at the platform and working through some of the courses on their own. And again, this then splits it down by all subjects. And then from senior leaders or heads of department, you might want to see how different teachers have been setting assignments. It would show you what assignments have been set. So that gives you enough data on your students to be able to have a really good oversight as to how well they're progressing through courses and how well they are doing. So here we're back to the beginning, and the only thing I really haven't spoken about would be our leaderboard here on the home page, which I'm sure many of you will have seen. They've got the school synced symbol next to your schools now, and so I'm sure you can get your students as they complete their courses to improve their XP and shoot your school to the top of the leaderboard. This one, as a class teacher, if you press invite parents on the home screen, you will just invite the parents who are linked to your classes. If you are a senior leader or head of department and you can invite parents from the main screen as a senior leader, you do invite all parents, and that's linked to the information that's stored on your school's MIS. So I have talked very fast, but we've got questions. Go.
A question, yes. We've got one from Millie asking, how can I set the same assignment for more than one class?
Okay, so when we set the assignments, when we went in here, so if I go to add assignment, I set an assignment on cells. And then I can assign that plus any questions, exam questions. And here, this was whole year group. And here, when I do it to multiple classes, I can select all the classes which have this Key Stage 3 Science course attached, and that will set it to multiple classes at the same time. And you can copy those links individually or together onto the different classes.
Super. That's all the questions we've got at the moment, but I'll see if any more come in from anyone else. Also, just quickly to note with the setting for multiple classes, if, for instance, you're wanting to set a year group-wide homework, the first task is making sure that they've all got the same course assigned so that you can set it across multiple classes. So just one bit of admin that you have to do before setting it across classes. It looks like there are no questions from anyone so far. So if we stay on for maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, Ruth, just to see if any other questions come up. But for anyone who doesn't have questions, thank you so much for joining us. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to email myself on amelia@seneca.io or Ruth on ruth@seneca.io. And I'll put both of those emails into the chat as well so that everyone can use them to their heart's content, basically. Problems or anything you want a bit more help with, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, we're more than happy to answer questions. There are no silly questions ever.
Absolutely. I think we might be all clear for questions. So I think, should we say goodbye there, Ruth?
Yeah, no, that was lovely. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.